My Mattress, Advanced Heating and Air Conditioning, Elements Restaurant, White Pine Funeral Home, Chem-Dry of Northern Utah, Aegis Home Health and Hospice, Les Olson Company, Prodigy Brewing, Cache Valley Bank, Jarek's Fine Jewelry, Daryl's Appliance, HSA Depot, Advanced Fireplace and Stove, Alpine Home Medical, S.E. Needham Jewelers, Thermo Fisher, Primrose Home Care, and Golden Spike Electric. It's the KVNU Aggie Game Day pregame show.
Well, tonight, again, it's still early in the college basketball season, but they're playing on an aircraft carrier down in San Diego. Michigan State 44, Gonzaga 33 in the second half. That one is on ESPN tonight. And for the first time in 3 years, the Aggies won their opener. And it was their home opener as well. The last time they did that in 2019, they ripped off 7 straight right out of the gate, so we hope that will happen again. And that led to a 28-6 and a Mountain West Conference tournament championship team. Now, that's obviously a ways off into this new year, but certainly the continuing of this 2022 preseason schedule tonight. It is nice, though, to beat that in-state team, a 20-win team from last year, Utah Valley, in the opener for Ryan Odom's team.
Obviously, a good start to the season for us. Really excited about the result against a really quality Utah Valley team. And I felt like, one of the biggest keys to the game, we talked about rebounding going into the game. We worked on that all summer, all right, and through the fall. Just an area that we knew we needed to perform well in. When you lose a guy like Justin Bean, who's a dynamite rebounder.
That's Coach Ryan Odom now looking for his 20th win as an Aggie coach tonight in his second year. Stars from that 75-58 victory over Utah Valley was one of the longest tenured Aggies that we have now in Sean Bairstow. 19 points, great shooting night, 8 of 13. Big deal, though, 2 for 2 from 3 for Sean.
Yeah, not going to lie, that was a great feeling to see the ball go through the hoop. Big confidence builder for me, so looking to build off of it.
And Sean also had 8 rebounds. And speaking of rebounds, that graduate senior Taylor Funk showed why he averaged double figures in the Atlantic 10 with St. Joe's with 18 points in his Aggie debut. But he tied his career high with 14 rebounds. And again, Coach Odom?
Taylor Funk, when we recruited him, felt like, obviously you see the pretty jump shot, you see his offensive game. But in the recruiting process, we felt like, okay, he's proven at a high level that he can get rebounds too.
So 7 of the 9 Aggies who played were real solid in the UVU victory. And now tonight they play a team with a really, really good basketball tradition. Bradley coming to town.
They have a program that's well respected around the country. They've got a coach that played the game at a high level and has coached the game at a high level, and both as an assistant and now as the head coach. And they expect to win, just like we do. And so that's why we both scheduled the game, as 2 quality programs with tradition.
And they are out of the Missouri Valley Conference. Brian Wardle is their coach, and they didn't win 20 last year, but again, they have recently won the Missouri Valley Conference Championship. So they're in the spectrum tonight as we kick off our second of our KVNU Aggie Game Days pregames for the Braves and the Aggies tonight. Hi, everybody. It's Al Lewis with Jalen Moore tonight to break down. This is the 4th ever meeting between these 2 schools, and we're going to go back and really reminisce when we talk about that a little bit later on. And we will, of course, mention 2 our sponsors tonight. Advanced Heating and Air Conditioning is one. You can call them at 752-7272 to always stay comfortable in your home. DD Auto and Salvage, they want to help you clean it up and get out the bad vehicle that you don't need anymore in your yard. No job's too big for them to handle. They'll pick up as well your junk vehicles, 787-1204. And Thermo Fisher Scientific, again, making the world healthier, cleaner, and safe. So Jalen Moore with us tonight. Jalen, good to have you back again tonight. Any other further thoughts on the Monday night victory as you thought back on Utah State beating Utah Valley like they did?
No, just feeding off of what you said. I thought it was a big win. Like we always touch on, those in-state games are always good to get a win. And, like you said, we hadn't won our home opener in a bit, so that was starting off on the right foot for the season. What we needed, we got to look at a few different players and kind of what we are capable of seeing from them. Getting a double-double from Taylor Funk, seeing Shulga and Bairstow being able to create on their own, and also getting some of that bench production as well. So I thought we saw a lot of good things. I think Bairstow going 2 for 2 from 3 was big for our team. As long as if he can stay consistent like that and be able to score at all 3 levels like we touch on, I think that'll be a big thing and a thing that we can build on as a team and kind of know that we have some consistency in some of our players that need to lead us. So I like seeing that kind of stuff, and I'm hoping that we see a lot of similar stuff tonight against the Bradley team.
Decent offense in the game to score 75, hit 45%, 8 of 19 from 3. That's a little better than we saw the team shoot last year from 3, so we need that. Winning the battle on the boards by 13, only 10 turnovers, 17 assists, 5 block shots by the Aggies. Free throwing, 9 of 16 was, of course, on the negative side. Defense was pretty good to hold somebody to 58 points, a team that had scored pretty well last year in Utah Valley, holding them to 33% shooting and 3 for 19 from 3. And you mentioned Bairstow and Funk earlier, but I think we saw other guys really playing their roles pretty well. I think we'll see a little better shooting maybe from Stephen Ashworth when he comes into the game, but he and Rylan Jones pretty solid in the game. Again, there's some guys. I mean, Z Hamoda, we saw the activity of him. There are some people, obviously, that we want to see a little bit more of after the first game of the season, and we'll wait and see if we see more of that tonight, because I think this team does still have that versatility, don't you believe?
Yeah, I do. I think that's the thing about the team. We're deep, and I think, it's a long season. I think people are going to get their chances when it comes about. Like I said, there could be injuries, there could be foul trouble. There's just a lot of things that can happen throughout the game and throughout the season. So I think people just need to stay patient. Maybe guys that aren't playing as much or haven't seen the court yet. I think everybody's going to have their chance that'll eventually show itself. And then, like you said, what are you going to do with those minutes that you're given? As long as you go out there and produce and play hard and give energy and effort, I think that's what's going to get people some playing time. And like I said, it just kind of depends on games. Like last game, Trevin didn't play a lot, and tonight we might see Trevin more than we saw him last game. So it just kind of depends on matchups and the flow of the game, and every game is different. That's what makes basketball so great. It's a game of runs, a game of momentum, a game of players who's playing well, who's not maybe playing well that night, and who can step up to the plate. And so that's what makes it fun, and each game's different. So tonight will be different than the UVU game, and like I said, some guys might have some different chances tonight. The Braves of Bradley's best player, Rink Mast, a first-team Missouri Valley Conference player, won't play. So they've gone now to a more athletic center in Daryl Hannah, who really played Darius Hannah, who played very well last game. I guess Daryl Hannah's the actress. That must have been on my mind. But again, this guy was very active the other day, so I don't know how the Dorius match up there. I wanted to get your comment here. Off of one game, it's hard to ignore the play of Taylor Funk, who's just come in here to Utah State. I was thinking about this afterwards, Jalen. His game is smooth, isn't it, so far, is what we see from Taylor Funk? Yeah, he's got a smooth game, and getting a double-double in the college levels, it's hard. You know what I mean? So for him to come over here and do that way he did the first game, and just being at his size, being able to stretch the court out and make you defend that three-point line, but also being capable of putting it on the ground, but being strong enough and aggressive enough to get in there and get offensive and defensive rebounds. That's what you want from a guy. That's what you go in that transfer portal for. And he came in here, and you're hoping that he's going to come here and click quickly, and with the experience that he has from playing in college already. And it seems that he's doing that. He's gelling well with the coaching staff and our style of play as well as his teammates. So, that's something that we're going to have to look forward to too. But like you said, him being smooth, I think that is going to allow him to be consistent throughout the whole season. Like I said, he can score at all 3 levels. So if the 3 points not going for him, he can get around the rim and score, and he can also get to the free throw line, stuff like that. So, like I said, I think he's going to be a big piece for us to be successful this year. And I thought it was really interesting what he said after the game, because he credited his fellow captain, Sean Bairstow, with the effort that Aggies put forward in the opener, because where Utah State really won the game, the last 8 minutes of the first half, and then the last 8 minutes to finish the game.
Before the game, Sean said we're gonna win this game on the defensive end. I think it took us a little bit to figure out how we were going to guard them. We made a little adjustments. We switched 1 through 5 at one point. I think that gave them a little bit of trouble. And then our offense just got flowing. We made some shots. We found the advantage. We got the mismatches we won, and we just fed off that. It was 34-14 to finish those 2 halves in the game, and that's a 20-point margin. There's your basketball game really right there. So we saw the 9 guys play, Jalen. Coach after the game said Shimon Zapala was a guy he would have liked to get into the game. So that would have been his 10th man into the game. And I know there are some people around here, you included,
who would like to see maybe what Mason Falsliff can do. And I think people are wondering about the Oregon transfer, Isaac Johnson, who's kind of an in-state guy, what those two guys could maybe add to this team as well.
Yeah, and like I said, sometimes it just takes a little bit, Isaac transferring from another school. Sometimes it just takes a little bit of adjustment period to kind of figure out what we do offensively, defensively, our different schemes, stuff like that. Might take him a little bit. And we know as a freshman, obviously we know it's just so much different than high school coming into the D1 level. There's an adjustment period. It's quicker, it's stronger, it's faster. A lot of things happen just way faster than in high school. So there's a little bit of an adjustment you have to make. And like I said, you never know what could happen. Injuries, foul trouble, anything can happen. So those two that people want to see, they just have to stay ready, and the way they do that is sometimes the way you earn playing time is going out there and practice and being aggressive and doing what the coaches ask of you in practice and doing what it takes. And sometimes that'll translate into the game and you'll get your shot. You know what I mean? And like I said, regardless if we're winning or losing, hey, if we're up by 20, 30 points and Mason and Isaac get in the game, it's not junk minutes for guys that are trying to earn time. So whenever they get in the game, they got to produce with what they get, and then coaches will read and react to that and see what they're capable of.
We asked specifically Coach Odom before the season how Mason Falsliff fits in, and it sounds like he must be practicing pretty well. Here's what the coach said.
We'll see. Mason and I have gone back and forth a lot, about whether, because he's facing some veterans, that they have experience on him. He has the athleticism. He has the strength, of a college player right now, which is rare for a freshman, especially coming off of a mission. Like, he's had some practices where he's been very dominant. I think it's, I told him yesterday, like, he's a future captain of this team, without a doubt. It's just a matter of, we've got to figure out, is it best for him to go at it right now and play, or is it best for him to, redshirt and not play, this season? We'll see.
So you get into that numbers game, and at his spot, you got Steven and Rylan at one guard, and you got Sholga, and you've got, and then Baby Bear still can move back there, and Z Hamoda, and you got RJ Idlerock still involved in the thing. So it's kind of a numbers game for sure. So coming up, Jalen and I will talk about Bradley on this 3-game homestand to begin the season. And also my player interview tonight will be with one of the Aggie captains, and that is Stephen Ashworth.
No doubt. I think we may not have the name brand that we've had the past few years of who's going to be our guy, and I think that's an advantage for us.
And so we will talk to Stephen a little bit later on as well. Jalen and I return. We are brought to you by Alpine Home Medical tonight, offering a variety of home medical equipment products and home rental services in Utah and Idaho. Call them at 774-4500 tomorrow for your needs. Again, the game tonight streamed on the Mountain West Network. For you who are not going to the Spectrum, there are still seats remaining. And this is Bradley coming in. We'll tell you how good their program is when we come back with more Game Day in a moment.
Hi, this is James with White Pine Funerals. We're excited to host our annual holiday concert featuring a choir and musical ensemble by Jay Richards. All are welcome to attend free of charge. We extend a special invitation to anyone who is missing a loved one this holiday season. Food donations are encouraged at the door for the Cash Food Pantry. Back-to-back performances will take place at White Pine on Thursday, December 1st at 7 p.m. and 8:30 p.m. That's Thursday, December 1st at 7 p.m. or 8:30 p.m.
You're first and goal at the 10-yard line with seconds left on the clock. Your running back is poised for the game-winning touchdown, but before you can make the snap, the opposing team just takes the ball and locks it in a safe, and they won't give you the combination unless you pay them $10,000. That's exactly how ransomware works. And in 2021, 2 out of every 3 organizations fell victim to ransomware attacks. Protect your business with Les Olson Security Suite from Les Olson IT. Learn more at lesolson.com.
It's engagement season. Time to find the perfect ring. S.E. Needham Jewelers is known for beautifully cut diamonds at excellent prices. Guys, the sparkle is what matters most in the diamond you give your sweetheart. Our diamonds stand apart from those of other stores. Come view our diamonds under magnification. Select a diamond that fits your budget and then have it mounted in a ring that she'll love. Remember, you get S.E. Needham quality at internet pricing. Open Monday through Saturday 10 to 7, where Utah gets engaged. S.E. Needham Jewelers, middle of the block at the sign of the clock.
Aegis Home Health and Hospice loves helping the people they serve. Aegis is a home health and hospice organization that lives by core values of character, experience, and trust. Every day, Aegis' goal is to help you with whatever your healthcare needs are and to do it wherever you need us to. Aegis, A-E-G-I-S, Aegis Home Health and Hospice. Call 723-9000 or find them at myaegis.com.
Thermo Fisher Scientific is hiring for their manufacturing, distribution, and warehouse team. And that's great news for anyone seeking a rewarding career. Thermo Fisher offers positions across multiple shifts, competitive compensation, health benefits, paid time off, bonuses, and an excellent work environment. Help Thermo Fisher make the world healthier, cleaner, and safer. Visit job.thermofisher.com and search Logan. Thermo Fisher Scientific is an equal opportunity employer.
Nothing compares to the warmth and feel that a wood stove provides. The two-time Best of Northern Utah winning team says there's never been a better time to replace your old inefficient wood stove and install a new energy-efficient EPA-certified Vermont casting wood product in your home. The U.S. government is offering federal tax credits of 26% on your wood stove install. For Vermont casting units, that includes stoves, venting, and labor. Call or email Advanced Fireplace and Stove for a free in-home estimate. Call 435-752-7272 or go to advancedfireplaceandstove.com.
Aggie Game Day continues. Sponsored by S.E. Needham Jewelers on News Talk KVNU.
There's nothing worse than watching on the sideline, so it was really good to be out there. Just a whole lot of fun, honestly.
That's Sean Bairstow, who again was reacting to the question the other night after he had 19 points in the opener. Hey, well, at least you're playing at this time of the year. Remember, last year he was hurt in fall camp. He missed the first 6 games, and he did have 3 other games that he missed during the season. I mean, Ashworth missed a game last year. R.J. Idlerock missed a game. Ryland Jones missed 3 games and didn't ever seem to be the same after those 3 games out. And again, Brock, of course. Brock Miller was gone a lot last year. That's part of sports injuries and all. We've had R.J. Idlerock. We've had Taylor Funk. We've had Ryland Jones with injuries during the preseason. Jalen, you seem to be pretty much of an Iron Man guy when you were with the Aggies down through the years. I mean, I'm sure you played through bumps, bruises, injuries, and all that kind of stuff. Talk about sports injuries and how that is.
Yeah, it just depends on the injury. Like I actually had a lot of lingering injuries that I just kind of would take care of before and after practices, before and after games. Obviously, my freshman year, I had a broken nose, but you can play through a broken nose. My sophomore year, I had a toe injury that I played the whole season on and got surgery after the season. And then obviously junior and senior year, I had some back issues, kind of similar to what Brock had, some slip discs in my back. And like I said, I just had to manage them, you know what I mean? Like manage what I did in practice, manage what I did before and after practice and stuff like that. So I was able to be as close to as 100% as I could in the games. So a lot of it, is just getting sleep at night, super important. And obviously going and seeing that trainer, taking care of your body before and after games, all that kind of stuff. And it's just so important. And you hear about it a lot in the NBA and a lot of college stuff now of how much money, if you took like LeBron and Russell Wilson and guys like that, the professional athletes, how much money they spend on taking care of their bodies because they know the importance of it. So, just like I said, that's how I was able to maintain and go out and hopefully be as close as I was to 100% for each and every game.
Hey, speaking of the NBA, what about the start the Jazz are on? Nobody saw that coming. Did you?
I thought they were going to be the worst team in the league. I'll be completely honest. I did not see it coming at all. I think they're fun. You know what I mean? They play great basketball. The ball moves around, and they got the best thing, a lot of shooters around, some athletes and stuff, and they just play well for that new coach. So they're fun to watch, and it'll be interesting to see if they can maintain it the whole season. But at this rate, it's looking like they're going to be a team that's going to be a higher seed in the playoffs. So it'll be fun to see how they, go to the All-Star break, and then obviously after the All-Star break, when it really starts winding down, it'll be interesting to see what kind of ball they're playing at those times.
And they seem to have a lot of depth as well, besides a couple of really good standout players, that Laurie Markin and Reese, some kind of players. Sam Merrill, Justin Bean are off to pretty good starts. What I've seen, some of the G League highlights that I've seen from those guys is kind of interesting. So, hey, we talked the other night, Jalen, about this schedule, and it's Bradley tonight, Santa Clara Monday night, and I looked it up. Right now, the teams on our schedule this year. Now, again, we might not play a few of the teams in Hawaii, but right now our schedule adds up to 24-6 of the teams that are on our schedule early. Now, again, it's early in the season, but it's pretty impressive stuff. Some of these teams are going to play this year.
It is, and as a player, that's what you want. Like I said, win or lose, these are games that are going to get you ready for conference play. And like I said, so far, conference is stacking up to look like it's going to be pretty tough this year. I know a few key players are out right now, and they'll be back. And I think that's why some of those teams have not looked as good, missing some of those key players. But the thing is, they're still winning games without those guys, so that shows you that they're capable. And these are the games that are going to get you ready for conference play. And like I said, going to Hawaii, playing good teams. Bradley coming here, Santa Clara, like I said, had a guy in the lottery last year. So you got teams and players that you're going to be playing against that are going to push you and make you better as a team. And that's really what you want. You know, like you said, Bradley coming in off a team that they obviously beat pretty well. A lot of people haven't heard of, and we're coming off a game against a UVU team that goes out there and competes in the WAC and is usually one of the better teams. So it'll kind of be interesting to see just the level of game that we've already played so far, and just kind of, I think that could be the experience. It could be beneficial for us against Bradley tonight as well.
Air Force did beat Delaware today, 75-71 for their first win, and Santa Barbara did beat Fresno State at Santa Barbara, 61-54. They played those games earlier today. Getting this game with Bradley, here is Coach Odom.
We're excited about the matchup. We're appreciative of Bradley being and Coach Wardle being willing to come to Logan. Obviously, we're going to go there next year, next season. We scheduled the home and home, over the summer, and not everybody's willing to do that. They have trouble getting home games, as do we, and we appreciate them doing that. It's really quality squad that they have.
And again, Jalen, they have 3 starters back. Now, their first teamer, this Rink Mast, is out with an MCL, but they have 9 lettermen, 7 new players on their team. They beat Wisconsin Parkside in their first game, 93-59. Now, Deshaun Henry, he's a 6'6" graduate senior. He was the leading scorer in the game, but he came off the bench. Last year he played 12 games, started 10 of them, was injured, and you can tell that he can be, he's the kind of guy, you look at the stats, he shot like 1 3-pointer last year. So you know what he's going to do. He's going to drive, he's 6'6", he's going to drive the ball to the basket, he's going to play in underneath the basket, he's going to get fouled and go to the foul line, and then they've got shooters around. They've got a kid by the name of Hickman, another one, let's see, another foreign player, his name is Ville Tavaninen. He can really shoot the ball. He's out of Finland. So they've got a team that's kind of scary in some ways of how they can score and do some things offensively.
Yeah, they've got pieces, like you said, when you have one of your better players coming off the bench, that's always great, because then you know that you're going to get bench production most nights. And I went back and looked at his stats. Being 6'6", being an athlete, not shooting threes, he's going to try to get downhill. He's going to try to facilitate and create. He's going to try to get to the free throw line, get to the rim. And I went back, regardless of the team you play in college basketball, the very first game of the season, he didn't miss a shot and he didn't miss a free throw. So he's 100% going on the season. Like I said, that's hard to do, and he scored 19 points. So it's not like he scored 4 points. So that tells you that most of his points are going to come from around the rim, and we got to make sure that we keep him out of the lane. And then, like you said, you keep a guy like that, and you surround him with shooters who he can kick it out to, and they shot, I think, 50% in that first game from 3. And like I said, regardless of the level you're playing at in college, 50% from the three-point line and the player not missing a free throw or a field goal in a game and actually scoring a decent amount of points is high level. So our defense is going to have to be on point today, and it looked good against UVU, and I think this will be another good test for us.
That's the question that we asked to Coach Odom. Again, it was the Aggies shot the ball very, very well from 3 at 42%. UVU shoots 3 of 19. Can we expect that kind of defensive play? Can we keep it up? Here's what he said.
I think we're just being there. The best way to keep shooters from scoring on you from 3 is to not let them get them off. And so being attached and making sure that when they do catch, we're right there, so they don't feel as comfortable or they can just release it. And so I think that's one of the biggest things that we've got to make sure that we're paying attention to.
I think he feels like there was too many open threes that maybe Utah Valley missed, and he doesn't think Bradley will miss those. We talk about our team being kind of international, Jalen. They've got the two guys from Netherlands, and one of them is the guy who's hurt, but they've also got Leons, who also can play. He'll start for them. He's about 6'9", averages 9 points and about 6 rebounds last year in 29 starts. They have the guy from Finland. They have the Henrys from Saskatchewan up in Canada. So they've got another guy from France. We just signed a player from France in our recruiting class. So interesting. I want to run through this. Bradley has been to the NCAAs 9 times. The last time they were there was 2019. But there's very rare that we have played a team in the Spectrum that has been to the NCAA finals. University of Utah has been there a couple times. UNLV's been there. Some of these teams have come in. But they were in the NCAA finals. They were both in the 50s. But did you know, Jalen, other than St. John's, they have been to the NIT tournament more than anybody. And they've won it more times, the NIT, 4 times over the years than anybody but St. John's. And St. John's is kind of like gets a home game kind of in the NIT if they're not in the NCAA. So that's pretty impressive stuff.
Yeah, it is. And it's not really something that you hear about a lot with related to Bradley or think about a lot. But that tells you that, the tradition is deep there. They get a lot of good players. They know it's a winning program, right? They expect nothing less than to go and win games. And like you said, for a team to take on the challenge of coming to the Spectrum, getting that home and home and knowing that we'll return the favor next year, it's going to be a fun game. I think it's going to be close. I think it's going to be kind of similar to UVU. And if we do what we need to do defensively, I think we should come away with the win. But like I said, be looking for that athlete to try to get downhill and Henry and facilitate for his teammates. And like I said, he comes off the bench, so we got to be ready to go stop the starters. And then when he comes off the bench, we got to get someone ready that can get in a stance and guard him and try to make him shoot some threes, or make him shoot tough contested shots because he's going to want to get around the field goal. So like I said, they're a proud campus, proud university, and they do a good job with their men's basketball team.
And they do have the transfer in Duke Dean, their 5'8" point guard who's starting the game now. So, Jalen, the other day I didn't mention, as we do keys to the game, you said we're going to find our leaders maybe for the season, or we needed to, and I think we saw a lot of that from the solid players. And we executed offense. I mean, Coach is a little bit disappointed that the Aggies, again, didn't shoot as well from 2-point range as they did really from 3-point range. And we saw a newcomer in Funk, and we saw a newcomer in Aachen kind of step up for our basketball team. So those are your keys the other day. I wanted to give you credit for those. Now let's hear your ones tonight for Prodigy Brewing. Remember, the Valley's first and only brew pub. They're on Center Street in downtown Logan. They do now have a Sunday brunch available along with their other great food. Anytime the games are on, they'll be on down at Prodigy Brewing. So what do you have as far as keys to the game tonight for the Aggies against Bradley?
Yeah, so first key, most important, I think we have to win the rebounding battle. I went back, did some research. They only had 31 rebounds against Wisconsin Parkside, and we ended the game against UVU with 47. And they only out-rebounded Parkside by 2. So that means they probably don't get a ton of offensive rebounds. They might not crash the boards as hard. But 31 in a game against a team like that's not a lot, right? So I think if we win that rebounding battle offensively, defensively, that's going to put us in a great position to win this game. Number 2, I think we know and have an idea of who our leaders are going to be. I think it's going to be Shulga, Funk, Barstow for the most part. And now I think the biggest thing for them is we got to get consistency from them. We know they're capable rebounders. We know they're capable scorers. Now we just have to get that consistency from them each and every game, which is what makes it hard. That's what makes the great players great, and that's what makes the great leaders great. There is consistency. If you go and watch college basketball, NBA, the best players on both the best teams, they know they're going to get guarded by the best defenders, and they're still consistent. So we got to get that consistency from at least 2 of those 3 throughout the whole season. Number 3, we touched on already. We have to defend the 3-point line. Like I said, they shot 50% in the first game. Threes add up quickly. We know a team like Bradley coming in, and you kind of can figure out when they have some guys from overseas and stuff like that, they're going to be very fundamentally sound. They're going to be very good shooters. And we got to make sure we run some of those guys off the 3-point line, or if they do get looks, we got to make sure we contest them. They wouldn't, I think, like you said, 9 for 18 in that first game, 27 points right there from the 3-point line. So we got to make sure that we defend that 3-point line and make them shoot contested 2s or contested 3s, as well as keep Henry out of the lane line.
I think last year they only lost one game if they shot more than 33% from three. So, again, you got to keep them way down in threes. And they were the number 15 rebounding team in the nation last year. Now, Mast is out, the one player who kind of plays inside that does hurt him. There's some there. But they're still, I think that's always been a really big deal for them. All right, Jalen, appreciate you joining with us tonight to analyze this one and get the game 2 started of the season. And we'll talk to you after the game and see how your keys go, okay?
Awesome. Sounds good. Thank you.
All righty. Jalen Moore, the great Aggie, again joining with us as always here on Game Day. And we're also brought to you tonight by Golden Spike Electric. Call them about that Generac backup generator towards winter. You don't want to be cold if the power goes out. Home and businesses can stay safe with that generator that you can get from Golden Spike Electric and LSS Insurance, 752-9493. Right now is a busy time, but they can make an appointment for you. Talk about your own personal insurance if you want to change. Get into the exchange if you don't have insurance through your work. And, of course, Medicare needs can be changed right now as well. Again, like we said, tonight our Aggie player interview, Stephen Ashworth coming up.
Whether it's official or unofficial, I don't think it changes too much about how I feel about the responsibility to go out and compete and do the things we need to on the floor.
He's one of the captains, and that was his reaction. That we'll talk more about that with Stephen a little bit later on as we continue Game Day. Bradley at the Aggies. Incidentally, earlier today, the Lady Aggies lost to Southeast Louisiana. 78-68 was the final in that game. They got down early and then never could claw all the way back as they lose their first game of the season in the Spectrum. This is Game Day on KVNU.
Hey, Aggie fans! Looking for the best burger in town? Bring the family to Prodigy Brewing and try out our signature Prodigy Supreme Burger or a wood-fired pizza. Need a smaller plate for the kids? Our kids menu has you covered. Whether you are out with the family or just want to catch the Aggies game with friends, Prodigy Brewing is the place to be in Cache Valley, located at 25 West Center Street in beautiful downtown Logan.
Are you a small business owner? Who's your bank? This is Bruce Rigby. I want to invite you to bank with us at Cache Valley Bank. We specialize in helping small business, and we have great people. That's the Cache Valley Bank difference. Decisions made locally, without all the red tape, by people who care and know how to help small business. Cache Valley Bank, growing, expanding, and proud to have our roots firmly planted in Cache Valley. Cache Valley Bank, member FDIC.
Alpine Home Medical has been around for over 25 years. Can you believe that? Hi, I'm Jay Broadbent. What keeps us coming to work every day? We're passionate about caring for you. From home and bathroom safety to transportation, mobility, recovery, oxygen, sleep, and more, come into any of our 10 locations today and let us take care of you.
Alpine Home Medical, we bring wellness home.
Visit us at alpinehomemedical.com.
Do you have a broken appliance? Save money and repair your appliance with Daryl's today. Maybe you'll decide you need to purchase new. If so, you can apply up to $95 of your service call toward an appliance purchase. We reduce the risk when you choose Daryl's. It's a unique deal only we can offer you. See our store for details. Daryl's Appliance Service and Sales west on Airport Road, open until 6 p.m. on weekdays, 5 on Saturday.
Advanced Heating and AC, the two-time gold medal winner in Best in Northern Utah. They're teaming up with Carrier Heating and Cooling. Carrier provides you the best furnace units available. And now's the best time to buy a new unit before the weather turns Cache Valley cold. Financing options are available. Turn to the experts at Advanced Heating and Carrier. Advanced Heating and Air Conditioning, 752-7272. Or stop by their showroom west of DI. And online at advancedheating-ac.com.
We're not comfortable until you are. Advanced Heating and Air.
Clean it up and get it out before the snow flies. Don't wait another winter. Let DD Auto and Salvage pay you for that junk vehicle. DD Auto and Salvage makes it so easy and fast to get rid of your junker vehicles by paying you the most money possible. Pickup is available. If you have metal, DD Auto and Salvage in Logan wants to pay you today. Call 787-1204.
That's 787-1204 today.
See store for details.
KVNU Game Day returns.
Yeah, I mean, I was known as a shooter. I see myself a little more than that. No one stepped up, so we got a little closer. But
that was on his 35-foot three-pointer that Taylor Funk made the other night in the opener. Do you know this is the third time in 4 years he has played Bradley? He had 20 in Peoria the last time they played. St. Joe's lost that game, though, but he had 20, and then he had 7 with 3 rebounds, played 26 minutes 2019. So I think they played in 19 and 20 against Bradley. So Taylor Funk has had experience against these guys, and he and Sean Bairstow were the guys that represented the team after that win, again, in the opener, 75-58 over Utah Valley.
That was just fun. There's not really much else to say. That was so much fun. Really good to get the first one out of the way with a dub, get the nerves out of the way. Looking forward to see what we can do from here.
Yeah, I mean, we pride ourselves on playing together. We figured it out. It wasn't pretty in the beginning, but yeah, like I said, we figured it out. We got it rolling, got that ball moving, and yeah, I feel like it was hard to guard us tonight.
I think you could tell the difference between Sean Bairstow with his accent and Taylor Funk, but 2 solid performances in the Spectrum. Again, the first night out, 74-30. Crowd made a lot of noise, and Funk, of course, first time to experience it.
Yeah, everything I heard is going to be very loud. Student body is amazing here. I heard they came out and they brought it tonight. Looking forward to Friday.
Remember that first max corner 3 that he hit, and it was ear-ringing. It just reminded me of how loud this place gets and how good it is to play here.
So again, the Spectrum loud and strong, and he mentions Max there. Max Scholga, first game, 14 points, 6 rebounds, and he really was the primary defender on Woodbury, the good player of Utah Valley. So he'll probably get a tough defensive assignment tonight. And again, his whole game, the coach, again, Ryan Odom, is all over. Again, he continues to tell us the youngest guy in the school.
Yeah, that's hard to do both, right? And, Max is has a chance to be, leading scorer of the team, right? But we have a lot of different leading scorers. I think, as long as Max remains focused on, defending, all right, and, continues to play the game the right way on the offensive end, which he did tonight. He was a little bit casual there for a minute. We took him out at the beginning of that second half, and we put him right back in, just to kind of, chat with him just for a second. He's a big-time player. He's really good, and he's grown in his game, over the course of a year. He's our youngest player.
Youngest player. He keeps bringing that up, but again, he played that European Championships this year for Ukraine, and it definitely did help him for sure in this situation. So Bradley into town tonight. Remember when we used to have the Missouri Valley and Mountain West Challenge? They actually started that in 2009 before we started the league, Missouri Valley and the Mountain West, and the Mountain West won it 3 times. There was one time there was a draw, and then 2 other times one time the Missouri Valley won it, and then there was a draw twice. And this is an interesting stat. Bradley has never beaten a Mountain West team. Now, they have beaten the Aggies twice as you go back down through the years. The last time these teams played, Wayne Estes scored 28 points and had 11 rebounds in the game. Leroy Walker had 20 points with 5 rebounds, and Steve Swish Roth had 9 with 11 rebounds. The other starters in that game were Hal Hale and Myron Long. The other guys who played were Kent Hunsaker, Mickey Dittebrand, Ursel McBee, Tim Smith. They had Pete Eniga and Alan Parrish on the roster, but they didn't play in that game, and the Aggies only lost by 5 at Bradley, and Walker and Roth fouled out in that game in the last 2 minutes. So that's the last time these teams played. But they've never beaten a team. The Aggies weren't in the Mountain West when they did beat them twice before. So that's kind of an interesting Cache Valley Bank stat on this game tonight as we go into it. And both these teams have been very good in November for some year. Go back in the last 6 years, Bradley has a record of 27-13 in November, and the Aggies in the last 5 years have gone like 22-2 in November. And we talked tonight on our Aggie player feature with one of the captains, Stephen Ashworth. White Pine Nursery brings it to you tonight, the primary provider of funeral and cremation services here in the Valley, creating healing experiences for your family and your loved ones. Again, White Pine Funeral Services bring you our interview with Stephen Ashworth. Generally, Stephen, does it feel a whole lot different this year than other years with Aggie basketball for you, being now a captain and more into the program?
Yeah, I mean, it feels a little different, a little more responsibility, a little bit more familiarity with all the things that we do. Last year being the first year with Coach Odom and the staff, and so, a little different, but at the same time, the difference might just be more familiarity with what we're doing and what our schemes are and different things like that with preparation for games and what that looks like. So I think it's a good different, I guess I'd say.
Okay. What is the responsibility when the coach and the team makes you a captain? Do you feel that differently?
A little bit. I think I've always, ever since I came here, I've tried to be a guy that, does the right things on and off the court and tries to lead by example. And so whether it's official or unofficial, I don't think it changes too much about how I feel about the responsibility to go out and compete and do the things we need to on the floor. And I think the whole team kind of has that same responsibility as well. We talk a lot in the locker room how we may have 4 captains, but we've got 16 leaders on the team, and it's all of our jobs to keep each other accountable and things like that. And so I think as a captain, it's really just our job to make sure that we're serving the rest of the guys and making sure that everybody's feeling good and feeling confident and ready to come out and compete on Monday.
This situation, I was thinking about this. You have Sam Merrill one year, you have Neemias Queta one year, you have Justin Bean one year, kind of recognizable people. It's a little different component of this team, but you look at it and it looks like you have lots of possible weapons or whatever. I guess that's the best way to put it.
No doubt. I think we may not have the name brand that we've had the past few years of who's going to be our guy, and I think that that's an advantage for us, is that it may go the whole year where we don't have a single guy that's like, oh, that's Utah State's guy, and that just allows us to be flexible every night to kind of see who's hot, who's feeling it, and feed them and play off of that. And I agree with you. I think we have a lot of weapons this year, both on and off the bench as well. So it'll be a lot of fun to see how we can compete together. We've been competing against each other for quite some time now, so it'll be fun to compete against somebody else and see how we meld together.
Because there are ways that you and Rylan can play together. There's different combinations. You can be bigger, you can be a little smaller, you can be quicker. There's a lot of combinations this team could use.
No doubt, yeah, I totally agree with that. I think we got a lot of different lineups that we can throw out there, which will keep the opponents on their toes defensively and offensively. I think we have some different things that we've already tried in practice, and I think that we've seen it work exactly how we want it to play, just like you're saying. If we wanted to play faster, throw in the different faster lineups together in practice. If we want to be able to, be a little bit bigger defensively or a little quicker defensively, and we've seen those work, so it'll be fun to see how we execute it when game time comes.
With Stephen Ashworth before this season gets started, Stephen, schedule-wise, I think there's some people that look at it and they go, oh, maybe the schedule isn't quite as tough as it's been in the preseason because maybe there's not a name or two that you've had the last couple of years. But really to have some of these teams come to Logan and be able to play some games in the Spectrum, it really is a kind of an interesting schedule that you'll have this year. And you still get an opportunity to play in the Warriors building. You get a chance to go to Hawaii in a tournament, things like that.
Yeah, I'm really excited for our preseason schedule, and I think we've got a lot of good teams that we're going to be able to play with. And a lot of, I might even say, sneaky good teams. They might not get the national name brand recognition like you're saying, but we definitely are playing some teams that'll be, up there in the rankings come the end of the season. That'll be some really good testers early on in the season, both here in the Spectrum on the road, out at San Francisco, out in Hawaii. That's a great tournament, and so we definitely got a schedule for sure, and so I'm really excited about it.
And we've got one more segment with Stephen we'll have for you on one of these other preseason games coming up here in the next little while, but he speaks of the schedule. Again, Bradley tonight, with this pedigree that they've had in basketball winning tradition, they have a huge all-time winning percentage, which is close to 60% in basketball. Santa Clara coming here Monday night. Don't miss Brandon Pojemski. He's a transfer from Illinois. In their first 2 games, he's averaging 32. They had a guy who went to the NBA off of Santa Clara's team last year, Herb Sendak, the coach out there. That'll be a great game on Monday night. So if you're not going tonight, make sure you get tickets for Monday night to see the Aggies. And also, we will finish up our Trevin Dorius interview, part 2, coming up on Monday night's game day as well.
Going into the offseason, I think the most important thing was just getting some confidence. I feel like towards the end of the season, I got pretty upset that I didn't feel like I was getting the shot that I needed to. Kind of got upset about that, upset with myself, upset with the coaches.
He's got goals for this year to be a good player. He's played well in some games, of course. Didn't seem to have a good one the other night. I don't know if this matchup of this quick 6'9" guy at their center without the other guy on their team is a good matchup for Trevin. We'll have to wait and see tonight. And we do have our coaches segment coming up as we continue on game day.
When you defend, you rebound, and you have the ability to shoot behind the arc, you can beat anybody.
And that is what he says about Bradley. Game day brought to you in part by Jarek's Fine Jewelry. Make it special. Make it Jarek's. Hey, Daryl's Appliance was at my house checking out this new part I need for my dishwasher today. They're trying to get it to fix my Maytag dishwasher. Got the brand names there. They got great service. It's Daryl's Appliance Service and Sales in beautiful downtown Benson. And right now, again, today and tomorrow, My Mattress is working with Ridgeline to sell you a mattress at a really good deal, and it helps out Ridgeline High School. So go out to Ridgeline and see their sale going on there. Plus, of course, the South, next door to the South Walmart there in Logan is where you'll find My Mattress as well. All game day sponsors of the Aggies playing basketball in the Spectrum tonight. If you're not going, the MW Network has the streaming starting at 7.
We're heading into some crazy weather this winter, which means power outages. Tyler and his team at Golden Spike Electric can install a Generac automatic standby generator for your home so you can avoid issues when the power goes out. If you have one already, Golden Spike Electric can maintain your Generac automatic standby generator for you. Find them online at gsegenerators.com or call 435-257-3016. Golden Spike Electric and Generac automatic standby generators. Power you can count on.
This is Ryan at My Mattress. We've teamed up with Ridgeline High School Booster Club to bring you the mattress warehouse sale of the year. November 11th and 12th at Ridgeline High School. My Mattress, Maloof, and Serenoni will have truckloads of mattresses, mattress protectors, sheets, pillows, accessories, Serenoni blankets, and more at blowout, rock-bottom prices. Don't miss this chance for blowout pricing from My Mattress, Maloof, and Serenoni. November 11th and 12th at the Ridgeline High School Mattress Warehouse Sale.
The Elements Restaurant is serving a plated Thanksgiving dinner this year with all the holiday classics. Herb roasted turkey with a sage turkey gravy, garlic whipped potatoes and whipped sweet potatoes, traditional cornbread stuffing, and delicious warm rolls. And for dessert, choose between pumpkin pie, pecan pie, or apple galette. Let the Elements serve your family a delicious Thanksgiving feast while you spend the day enjoying family and friends. Prime times fill up quickly. Reserve online today at theelementsrestaurant.com or call 750-5171.
You have to see it to believe it. The new Three Peaks Medical Plaza is Cache Valley's newest and most up-to-date medical facility. Cache Valley Ear, Nose, and Throat, the Allergy Clinic, and the Hearing Aid Center are now located in the Three Peaks Medical Plaza in North Logan. The entire staff and Drs. Benyon, Blotter, and Robinette look forward to helping you and your family at this state-of-the-art medical facility. Cache Valley Ear, Nose, and Throat is now located in Providence and Three Peaks Medical Plaza, 2245 North 400 East in North Logan. Go to CacheValleyENT.com for details. Most insurance products, including SelectMed, are accepted.
It's KVNU Aggie Game Day, brought to you by My Mattress on News Talk KVNU.
Saw out there was the work that we've put in. Certainly not perfect, right? The key is, will we continue to work, and get a little bit better each and every day.
And again, it's the Bradley Braves and the Aggies tonight in the Spectrum. It starts here at 7 o'clock, top of the hour. First time in 58 years that they have played. Just want to mention Utah State's cross-country Aggies went 7th on the men's side, and they went, 8th on the women's side today in the competition that was down at New Mexico in the regionals. So tomorrow, I think it is, they have the announcement of the teams that get in. I don't know if Utah State will get in. I don't know if they'll have the individuals in, but still another solid performance. How about Gloria Navarre is named today as the new commissioner of the Mountain West Conference, taking over the first of the year when Craig Thompson retires. She has been the commissioner of the West Coast Conference, which has had Gonzaga, BYU, those teams recently. She's excited. She's had a lot of great experience in all kinds of places around the country. And how about Ryan Odom's basketball signings? Khalifa Sakho, we're going to have to find out how to say his name for sure, the kid from France, but he's at South Plains Junior College right now. Rim protector, 6'11", really athletic, maybe can be another guy kind of like Nemi was. We'll see. That's hard to say that because he's an NBA guy. But Garrison Phelps, a freshman out of Arizona, can really shoot the ball from the wing, then a really strong and also a good shooter in Carson Templin out of Texas have signed with the Aggies in the signing period. Like we said, the coaches segment's coming up here shortly, and Coach Odom, all he wants, again, is from the Utah Valley game, there was some areas at times of the game that was not what he wants this team to be at, and he said,
defensively, wrap our arms around the game when we needed it most, and offensively do the same thing. But, to your point, shooting 40-some% from two, is not a recipe for long-term success. So we've got to be better inside.
See, that's what I talked about. It was a 42% two-point shooting game. A lot of shots missed at the rim, 8 for 19 from 3. So they actually shot a little bit better almost from 3 than they did from 2 to get the overall percentage up there for the game. So we'll have more from the coach as we continue on Game Day. Game Day brought to you in part by HSA Depot. Remember, they're by Sally Beauty, the store where you can confidently use your FSA or your HSA to buy the medical supplies for your family. It's the HSA Depot. They're on North Main Street in Logan. Game Day continues.
Hi, this is Ashley with LSS Insurance. Humana is offering Medicare Advantage plans in our area. Come learn about Humana's benefits for 2023 at our free seminar. Call 752-9493 for details or go to our website, lssins.com, for a meeting schedule. If you were happy with Humana in the past, you are going to want to see their benefits now. Call 752-9493. For accommodations of persons with special needs at meetings, please call 752-9493.
The Young Automotive Group is proud to announce Young Truck and Trailer Center in Cache Valley. Whether it's heavy equipment trailers, horse trailers, race car trailers, or cargo and utility trailers, we're excited to offer some of the finest trailers and flatbed work trucks to Cache Valley. Our team of experts look forward to helping you find the right truck or trailer to fit your needs, with competitive prices offered on every make and model for sale on our lot. With our extensive inventory, you'll find the best deals right here in Cache Valley. Young Truck and Trailer Center, just off Highway 89 in Logan. Think young, drive young.
It's that first kiss, that moment in time.
This is Jarek from Jarek's Fine Jewelry. Everyone knows us as an engagement ring store, but not everyone knows about everything else we do. Custom design, our in-house laser jewelry repair. We offer fashion jewelry, charm bracelets, necklaces, earrings, birthstone jewelry, watches. We love people to just look and make a wish list. Stop in and say hi.
Jarek's Fine Jewelry. Make it special, make it Jarek's.
This is Zach with HSA Depot. Christmas is nearly here. Make sure you be merry and bright by using your pre-tax funds on your medical needs. We know your regular holiday budget is disappearing quick, so instead, save money by using your pre-tax income to buy qualifying medical supplies. HSA Depot carries hundreds of unique and dashing eligible products to help you conquer your healthcare. Come to HSA Depot next to Sally Beauty Supply and see how much you can save this holiday season. HSA Depot, 5-star review.
I'm here with Mark Anderson from Anderson Seed and Garden. Mark, can you tell us a little about your experience with ChemDry of Northern Utah?
You know, our carpets get really dirty at Anderson Seed and Garden, and we clean every January. Our timing is kind of difficult. I called Daryl, and he was amazing to work around our schedule. They came in and cleaned our carpets. They looked like brand new when they were all done, and they've just been amazing to work with.
ChemDry of Northern Utah. ChemDry of Northern Utah. 435-752-6100.
When it comes to home care, it's important to know you have a choice. If you or a loved one is in need of hospice or home health services, remember that Primrose Home Care and Hospice believes in treating the patient, not the problem. We work directly with you and your doctor to create a health plan that's catered to your needs. Our team is devoted to providing options in the freedom and safety of your own home. Visit us at primrosecare.com or call to schedule a free consultation. Primrose Home Care and Hospice, your local hospice and home health provider since 2006. Al Lewis back on our KVNU Game Day. We'll do football game day tomorrow night starting at 7:30 for the game at 9. You have to use a Team One Sports app. Team One Sports app. You have to download that on your phone or your tablet. It doesn't work on a laptop computer to watch the Aggies Hawaii game tomorrow night. That's the only way I guess you can watch that. And I don't know if you have to pay for it. I think it's pay-per-view for the game tomorrow night. But again, you can go through that webpage and find out more about that. Speaking of game broadcasts, again, like we said, tonight's game on the Mountain West Network, MW Network streaming, and they won't have the football game tomorrow night on there. But I noticed a note in their notes about Dave Snell. He's in his 44th year as the broadcaster for Bradley basketball. Can you imagine that? 7th longest streak in the NCAA. Ray Goss, who's the broadcaster at Duquesne, who's playing right now, one of the rated teams, I think it's Villanova, they're playing tonight or something. He's done 55 years, but Dave's done 44. Dave Snell will actually not be in the Spectrum tonight, but he's done Again, 1,342 broadcasts, all in succession. He will do the game tonight broadcasting from Peoria at a grill because he has a broken kneecap and he can't travel. So I like the tenacity of the broadcaster tonight. And they're leading players out with a knee injury, so the broadcaster, he's going to keep working. The main player on their team, this, again, Rink Mast, is out. But Brian Wardle is the coach of this team. Again, he has done a really good job at Bradley. He was at Green Bay before that.
They're picked second in their league preseason, going into the season. His teams are obviously very well coached. They're very physical. They've got a very clear and determined way about them and how they attack you both offensively and defensively. And they're going to have a clear game plan, to go against us. And we're going to have to be ready.
8th year at Bradley for Brian Wardle, their coach. Again, he played at Marquette. He's their 8th all-time leading scorer at Marquette, so this guy could play. And he's a guy who has had a team that has had good offense. They've been one of the best rebounding teams in the program, and they're always good on defense.
They shoot the ball well. If you go and look at their starters, they're all well above 35%. And, we're going to have to make sure that they are not getting clean looks. We've got to make sure that they're contested and we're staying in front. And they challenge you with the way that they run offense because they move you around a lot of different spots.
Then on defense and with that rebounding game, Coach?
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, their defense was good in that particular game. And, just going back and watching last year's tape, I mean, they're really good on defense. I mean, that's something that they hang their hat on. They're really good at rebounding the basketball. And when you defend, you rebound, and you have the ability to shoot behind the arc, you can beat anybody.
And our Riverwoods Conference Center bringing you our Game Day Coaches segment tonight. Remember, they have special events. You can schedule things for the Christmas season there. We've got our holiday gift show going on over there. It'll continue all day tomorrow. They, of course, have the Elements Restaurant as well, and talk to them about their Thanksgiving dinner they have available. And on the personnel of the Bradley Braves tonight, Coach?
Obviously, they're missing their big guy, their starting big guy. But they've got others, that have stepped up nicely so far early this season. Hannah is somebody that we expect to start. Obviously, he's very quick, kind of like Dan Ocken, and has some athleticism there. So a different look, than the guy that they lost. And I've been really impressed with the transfer, the point guard. He can really shoot. Had a great start at Troy, and now is doing well, at Bradley. And then, the returners, 3, 10, 22, 23, 14. Their leading returning scorer, basically, this coming year. So they have some veterans.
That is the guy that we mentioned, the other guy from the Netherlands, besides Rink Mast, who is out tonight, in Malavi Leons. He's a 6'9" senior who averaged almost 10 a game. But Duke Dean is the transfer from Troy. Connor Hickman, a shooter. Zeke Montgomery, a shooter. Ville Tavainen is the other shooter. And then it's just Sean Henry who will really attack the basket for them. And he's the guy who had 19 off the bench. And this Darius Hannah had a terrific game with, I think, 15 in the win that they had against Wisconsin Parkside. They shot 56% against the Rangers, 50% from three, got 30 of their points off of turnovers. So, again, what are the keys to this game tonight to win it, Coach?
I think defending their three-point shooters, not getting cut to the basket. They're playing faster than they've played, in the past. And maybe that's due to the fact that their big guy's out. So transition defense is going to be really important, getting back, getting our defense set and aligned so they're not getting quick, easy ones. And then, getting out on their shooters and rebounding the basketball when the shot does go up, being very clear on our coverages. And then offensively, we've got to play our game. We've got to execute a little bit better than we did in the game the other day. But, I do think, getting the ball inside and moving it, more. I think we slowed it down a little bit too much at times. We want to attack and transition too, and I think that's certainly going to be a key for us, as this team progresses over the course of the season. We want to attack. When another team misses, we get a rebound. We want to go.
So we'll see. Bradley's going, again, he says, and we'll see the Aggies, again, try to go if they can. in this game tonight. Again, there are a lot of, you can tell, a lot of feelings of this is a good opponent coming in Bradley, a good opponent on Monday night in Santa Clara, and they thought Utah Valley was good, and the Aggies took care of that. Our Escondido Jewelers starting lineup, under 125 years, the state's oldest jewelry store where Utah gets engaged. Sean Bairstow and Max Shulga kind of on the wings, 6'8" from Brisbane, Australia, 6'4" from Kyiv in Ukraine. Then Rylan Jones at the point guard, 6 feet tall from Holiday, Utah, but of course a lot of his years here in Logan or in the Cache Valley area, North Logan, where they lived a long time. Taylor Funk, Lancaster, Pennsylvania, St. Joe's transfer, and 6'9", and then Trevin Dorius, 7'1", from Heber, Utah, and Wasatch High School. And then we will see the normal guys, and we'll see if they go a little deeper or a little different on the rotation tonight of players in this game. Playing on that aircraft carrier with 15 seconds to go. Gonzaga 64-63 over Michigan State, but Michigan State's got the ball. They've led most of the game. That we'll have the final score on that post game. We'll have all of your comments on the text line or phone calls as well. John Russell will join with me. We'll check with Jalen Moore. Enjoy the game. Go Aggies tonight against the Bradley Braves. What a good game in the Spectrum on this Friday night on game day.
Breaking news. Stimulating talk.
Here's what we do. The biggest problem we have is ignorance.
KVNU Logan, 610 AM and 102.1 FM.
From ABC News, I'm Chuck Severson. Vote counting continues in Arizona through the weekend, where Democrats hold leads in all the key races.
In Maricopa County, elections officials expect to be done counting ballots next week. They say all is going according to Arizona law and that a legally mandated hand count audit will begin this weekend to ensure tabulating machines are working properly. Republican gubernatorial candidate Carrie Lake